So it's been like 3 or 4 months now since the Action 5 was released, and at first this was my obvious choice for content creation with the features like subject tracking, a D-Log M10-bit, and not so long ago we also got a higher bitrate, which has all been amazing features and made things a lot easier when it comes to color grading and color matching the footage coming from the Action 5 Pro and my other DJI drones like the Mini 4 Pro. But I've kept asking myself actually over the past few months, is this just overhyped or is it actually worth the Pro stamp, which it has right here? So I did a bit of digging, or actually a lot of digging, through all the videos that I captured with the Action 5 over the past 3-4 months and decided to compare those with the same style of clips that are shot with the Action 4 in the exact same environment. Just to figure out if there is, what's the differences. Should you get the Action 5 Pro or should you just get the Action 4? So let me show you a sequence here that I put together with these two cameras, and you can decide for yourself. Some clips are captured in a D-Log M10-bit where I've added my own Signature LUTs, but other than that, all the clips have been captured with the auto settings straight out of the camera. So here's a few of my key points which I think makes the Action 5 Pro better in some areas. The first one is stability. So battery life, charging, how many issues I've encountered versus how many videos I've captured. Audio cutouts and video quality, basically how stable is the camera out of the box and out to the field without doing anything else but pressing the record button and perhaps changing between the different shooting modes depending on what you need and so on. And I've been testing quite a lot of the features, quite a lot of the shooting modes and also the photos. And just to put things into perspective here, I've captured videos with 2 Action 5 Pros over the past 3-4 months, one for me and one for Philip, and the amount of files generated is approximately, or more precisely, 1,150 files, still counting. So it's safe to say that I've used this more than most people on the internet, which also reflects back to why I think this is something worth buying and worth looking into if we're looking at the new action camera. I mean, if it was trash, I wouldn't really use it, would I? And even if the GoPro Hero 13 has better image quality, let's be honest, GoPro 13 has the best image quality out of all action cameras, but I still think it's trash because it lacks actual upgrades that will make it good. Like, it's not durable, it's definitely not reliable, it cuts out now and then, and there's also strange artifacts when doing like a forest hike, for example, which I love doing, and that's one of the reasons I honestly can't recommend a GoPro, because it has so many flaws compared to pros, or so many cons compared to pros. Now, I do have a lot of action cameras, but there's only 3 cameras I would mainly pick, which is the Action 5 Pro and the Ace Pro and the X4, because to me all these 3 cameras have different purposes and I use them in 3 different ways. So with the Ace Pro 2, for example, this is what I would grab if I'm going freediving or shooting low light videos, and the X4 is my main for motorcycle videos and traveling, and the Action 5 Pro is just everything in between. So even if I make videos of the Neo, for example, here on this channel, or the Mini 4 Pro here, the Action 5 Pro is the one capturing the behind the scenes shots or the B-rolls of those devices, mainly because it has a seamless connection with the DJI Mic Mini, the DJI Mic, and the DJI Mic 2, which is what I always use when I'm out traveling, because it makes my whole setup much smaller, much more convenient, and it's easier to move things around from place to place. And you know, the Action 5 Pro alone is also waterproof. And even though these microphones here can be connected to any of the cameras via Bluetooth, the audio quality is significantly better when using a DJI camera. So I'll leave a video down below of a comparison between all these cameras and the microphones here, so you can hear the difference for yourself. But this actually makes a huge difference for me and is one of the main reasons that I'm always shooting my A-rolls with the Action 5 Pro. Of course, we do have the Pocket 3 here, which is a fantastic camera, but to me the field of view coming from this is still a little bit too narrow for me, even with the wide angle lens. And also the Action 5 Pro is more robust and can take some really hard hits compared to the Pocket 3, which is more fragile. Now, as for battery life and charging, there is no other camera on the market right now which has such an impressive battery life as the Action 5 Pro, with almost 3 hours of continuous recording in 4K 30 FPS and fast charging from 0 to 80 in 16 minutes, or is it 18 minutes? Well, it's fast anyway. So I've never really felt like I have to save battery in order to capture what I want to capture, which is a huge advantage for me. And DJI even made the batteries all the way back to the Action 3 compatible with the Action 5, which for me means that I have 9 or 10 batteries now, plus the battery grip to keep me going for like weeks, months. So for DJI to hold on to this and make most of the physical parts, including mounts as well, backwards compatible and forward compatible with new cameras, it just makes everything easier, and it makes it easier to justify the upgrade despite the minor image quality differences between the Action 5 and the Action 4. Now, moving over to the next key point here, which is why I think the Action 5 Pro is better in some ways, is of course going to be D-Log M at 10-bit, which in my opinion is the best high dynamic flat color profile ever made for those that wants to learn or knows how to color correct and color grade the footage. You have so much dynamic range, which makes it easier to correct the highlights and the shadows and get the best possible image quality. And I've been using a lot of flat color profiles over the years, and there's nothing that has been even close to the D-Log M color profile in my opinion. Another key point here is also that we have the color temperature sensor here, which sits in the O here in the Action. This has been massively improved from the Action 4, and even though this doesn't apply to every single person out there, but for snorkeling, diving, or freediving, this is huge. So whenever we travel to a tropical place, the only thing I want is to drop in the drink and make some new friends. And the problem with some cameras is that I always have to go back into Final Cut Pro to adjust the temperature and correct the image in order to make it look look good because the white balance has been far off. I've used a lot of cameras underwater, and GoPro 13, GoPro 12, GoPro 11, GoPro in general is the worst camera that I've ever used. And it takes so much time to make the footage look really good. Of course, I'm able to make it look good, but with the Action 5 Pro and the 8 Pro 2, not to forget that, I will get like pretty good looking images straight out of the box without having to do much in post, which is a huge advantage for me personally, and it saves a lot of time. Now, another thing for me personally, as we're going into 2025, which will be a year where I will focus a little bit more on short form content, is subject tracking. Not because the subject tracking on the Action 5 Pro is mind-blowing, but because it makes it easier to keep the framing consistent. So if I ask my son to hold the camera for me where I show a device, maybe that's the DJI Neo or anything else really, I know that I will get the shot even if he slightly drifts the camera to either side. And this is one of those features I don't necessarily need, but after using it for quite some time now, it has definitely made things a little bit easier. The next thing I really appreciate with the Action 5 Pro is the built-in storage, and that we have 47 gigabytes of built-in storage and not only 8 or 16 gigabytes. So whenever I'm running low on my SD card or need to do a longer shoot, for example, and I see that I don't have enough space on my SD card, I can easily swap over to the internal storage without having to delete some files or open my DJI Mimo app and then transfer the files over to my phone. So a minor addition for some, but if you end up using your action camera a lot like I've done, this is a huge advantage in my opinion. Whether or not the Action 5 is the best camera on the market right now is individual, and I would say it really depends on what you're looking for in an action camera and the features you need. But for me, this has been a solid A-roll camera to record videos out in the field, and especially on vacations, because it has that extreme durability. It's waterproof, has seamless connection with the DJI mics for high quality audio, and a crazy good battery life. So what's your thoughts on the Action 5 Pro? Is it something that you have, or is it something that you will be getting? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and also make sure to check out these videos right here, which dives a little bit deeper into the Action 5 Pro and all its capabilities. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye.